Thank you. Okay, next we have Nathan Chan from China. Nathan is an 11th grade student of law, international relations, and history studying in Shanghai, China, a published author and researcher of wisdom tales and history. He's a multilingual and aspires to create a meaningful impact on social justice. He is the founder and director of an international mock trial tournament. Working with Kids for SDGs, nominated for the World Humanitarian Forum Youth Council, and positioned to host a Social Enterprise World Forum Community Hub later this year. Nathan hopes to realize tangible and measurable socioeconomic impacts in 5 years. Let's welcome Nathan Chan.
All right, well, thank you, Ms. Lee, for that introduction. Honorable and distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning, afternoon, or evening. My name is Nathan Chan, and first and foremost, thank you to the United Nations Sustainable Development Solutions Network and Global Schools Program for the opportunity to present today. Next slide, please. For the next 9 minutes or so, I have the privilege to share with all of you my initiative, Mission Fortitude, that aims to address SDG 16, peace, justice, and strong institutions, amongst others. As you'll be able to tell a bit later, I have a thing for acronyms. So today's presentation will be separated into 3 different segments. SDG. S stands for the story of how Mission Fortitude came to be. D stands for deeds, which will cover what Mission Fortitude has done thus far and its significance. And G stands for growth in regards to future involvement and next steps. Next slide, please. I'm currently a rising 12th grader studying at the Shanghai American School, and I've always loved stories. At my age, most of the useful reading is done out of textbooks, and stories can seem juvenile or useless, but they transmit emotions like none other. In fact, while I read many informational passages describing the horrors of the Holocaust for class, it was a short story about an unknown civilian that ignited my passion for justice 4 years ago. I wanted to share it with all of you today. As Erna Petri, a German homemaker and mother of 2, was driving home after grocery shopping, she saw 6 disheveled and seemingly scared children huddling together on the side of the road. It was the summer of 1943. And through word of mouth, Erna knew that a group of Jewish children had escaped from a train headed to a Nazi extermination center. It occurred to her that these children may have been a part of that group. She approached them and kindly invited them to come home with her. Once at her house, she gave them something to eat and reassured them that they would be safe. Then, in a wooded area by her house, she stood them, one next to the other. She placed herself behind them, pulled out a gun, and shot each of them in the back of the head. We've all heard about the concentration camps and the horrors perpetrated by Hitler, but this sent shivers down my spine because Petri was just another everyday person. I'm of the belief that all humans are innately good, but that circumstances can bring out evil in us, like the injustices being perpetrated in Ukraine. So I wanted to establish a framework that would encourage youth from all socioeconomic backgrounds to develop their own blueprints on social justice. Rome wasn't built in a day, and it will take our generation, an entire generation of changemakers, to instill this paradigm shift towards a more just and equitable world. However, intention isn't enough to realize social change. If so, we'd have a utopian society. But reality is that many youth lack the necessary knowledge, skills, and network. Next slide, please. So, transitioning to the D of SDG, Mission Fortitude is a 4-step journey that addresses these issues. Our mission is to empower youth internationally to become social entrepreneurs, innovators, and advocates for SDG number 16 in line with Agenda 2030. The first step in this process is participating in the LACA trial, which stands for the Law Association for Crimes Across History. We write our own cases themed around social justice topics, hoping to address current issues through studying history critically. The second step is speaking with 5 experts on History for Two, which is a podcast that examines history as well as history in the making to extract useful lessons about social justice. The third step is completing the Wharton Social Entrepreneurship class. And the final step is familiarizing oneself with SPOT, standing for Student Projects Organized Together, which is a platform for students to market or browse youth initiatives and meet peers internationally. Next slide, please. Thank you. To revisit the idea of stories now. While the presentation will show comprehensible visuals regarding all the takeaways in two parts, I'll be discussing some impacts of mission fortitude through anecdotes. For example, I think that few embody the essence of mission fortitude better than Kennedy Nwankwo. Kennedy is a law student in Nigeria who reached out to me about LACA a few months ago. He was too late to compete in last semester's tournament. However, he was so eager to participate that he came to spectate a trial, study some past cases, and even scheduled a few private conversations with myself and the organizing team. In short, he got the condensed version of the LACA experience, but nonetheless, he bought into the mission. Seeing the regional injustices being perpetrated around him, like extortion of the general public due to the lack of basic legal knowledge, he decided to create a franchise of LACA, working to spread it into Africa and to register it as an official NGO. Next slide, please. LACA also has an official partnership with UWC Costa Rica. Through our collaboration, and shout out to Ms. Paula Proti, we were able to sponsor 5 students to compete at LACA. Their names are Jed, Jin, Yu, Kimi, and Dasha. In fact, they enjoyed it so much that many are now looking to compete at History for Two's oratory competition for justice. Finally, although Mission Fortitude is nonprofit, we're now also funding a recurring scholarship for a UWC student that exhibits a keen passion for social justice. Back to the presentation, planning Mission Fortitude wasn't easy, but seeing real impact being made is worth all the work. If you're wondering, I didn't have all this planned out when I began LACA 3 years ago. It's like those mazes at the end of magazines where it's always easier to trace your steps backwards. Mission Fortitude was similar, with each step developed independently over years and the dots not connecting until the end. Now, I'm not advocating for trying to make a change without a plan, but I am encouraging you to begin ideating and prototyping if there is an injustice that you want to tackle. Too much speaking and not enough action is why the world still faces so many global issues. While I'm very grateful for how much Mission Fortitude has already touched the lives of over 1,000 youth in 35 countries, this process isn't over until the world is rid of injustices. That's going to take a while, which brings me to the final section of the presentation, the G in SDG, growth. This year, I have the honor to be hosting the Social Enterprise World Forum Community Hub here in Shanghai in hopes of taking impact to the next level. The end goal is to inspire and equip 10,000 youth across 100 countries with the necessary skill set to run their unique social justice initiatives and to realize tangible and measurable socioeconomic impact in 5 years. However, this all starts with proactive youth, like you all, that are truly passionate about instigating generational change. Next slide, please. Mission Fortitude believes in tailored experiences. So to get involved, you can either choose to enroll in the entire program or be a part of the various initiatives independently, which can all be accessed through our website. Additionally, I'd like to extend an invitation to any who want to create programs to tackle region-specific issues to reach out. Mission Fortitude is looking for a group of student advocates to pave the way and make this process known internationally. I also hope that Mission Fortitude can continue to collaborate with the Global Schools Program, which is doing brilliant work by integrating SDG learning into schools. Since Mission Fortitude is also a curriculum of sorts, using interactive programs to teach about SDG 16, I hope that we can work in tandem with SDSN's network of schools internationally to scale its impact. Hopefully, you will all join me on this journey to inspire a movement that will build sustainable solutions to dismantle these unsustainable injustices. The world has enough problems without humans hurting other humans. And final slide, please. Again, thank you to the Global Schools Program for this incredible opportunity to contribute towards collective action. And for anyone looking to connect, this is my LinkedIn. Wishing you all a wonderful day ahead.
Thank you so much, Nathan. Thank you so much for sharing. It's very important to empower and encourage youth in different parts of the world to think and learn how to become innovators, entrepreneurs, and supporters of SDGs. And Mission Fortitude is a great initiative to provide such skills. I have a question for you. If a student is interested in joining Mission Fortitude, should they contact you on LinkedIn, or how should they get in touch?
Yeah, no problem. Just please reach out to me directly. I'd love to get to know and connect with any and all of you.
Thank you.